Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Caves of Cud, where today I think I've decided I'm going to hold off buying any big, weird, expensive items for parts until I actually have some way to spend the parts, and until I actually have some reason to have those parts. Like, I don't know that it's actually meaningful for us to just, like, spend 1,000 drams of water to carry a 7 around. So I think I'm going to step back here. Are we going to give you a weapon? So you're using a hammer right now, and I don't know how to know. Can we, like, talk about your skills or anything? Is there a way for me to know what your skills are? I think the answer is no. Yeah, I don't know that there's a reason to give you an axe. And it's still possible we could encounter somebody who would have a thing that I want to be able to sell these axes for, right? Like, it's not totally unreasonable, I think. So we got ourselves a recoiler. Let's go ahead and just head back to Gridgate. I'm sure at this point, I'm sure it's been enough time that we can continue the quest chain forward. Right, I walked across the whole map. Otho, what's up? What's the word? Crobal Numbus Starfed poster. I love it. I love to hear it every single time. I've brought the decoded signal to Barathrum, and he's finished musing on it. We have fresh instructions for you, journey friend. That's right, I am a journey friend. Yeah, I'm down to hear them. Barathrum needs you for an undertaking of great importance. You must journey to Porch, far to the north. There the spindle stretches from earth to sky. Unfortunately, a troublesome merchant from the consortium of Phyta has relocated there and declared herself Earl of Porch. We need you to broker a deal that we may lease control of the spindle. Failing that, you'll need to dispose of this self-appointed Earl. Okay, alright. Be careful on your approach. So far east into the reaches of Cud, the Putus Templar lie in wait. Yeah, now I know a thing or two about the Putus Templar, right? Listen, why am I doing this? That will be revealed to you in due time. Do not forget your place, journey friend. Okay, hold on. My place is the person who gets things done around here. Dude. But fine. We know about the Putus Templar. We've had encounters with them in the past. I think at this point, our next encounter with them is likely to be a lot less friendly than the last one was. But fine, I will secure the spindle for Barathrum. But y'all should, like, answer my questions. Okay, so we're allowed to enter more of the places. That room down there is where Barathrum is, I believe, and so we are not yet allowed to enter that. Hey, Maffeo. Do you have anything fun today? Because your inventory did. So you have it's carbide longswords that Beetle in Bethesda Souza wants, right? I don't know that I think. Ooh. I do love plus carry capacity. I don't know if I think that it's worth it necessarily to get to try to get 6 swords together. I don't know for sure, like, if each one of them weighs like 5 pounds or whatever. I don't know where there's a source of them, like, tight enough that I'll be able to get them quickly, and I don't want to be carrying around 20-ish pounds of swords just kind of all the time, you know? I don't think these keys are ever used for anything again, but they're also probably not actually, like, they probably don't actually have weight, right? I should use the trade goods that have weight. Beaded bracelets are probably weightless. I certainly don't want to sell off all my oil. We could sell off the cider, probably. We know where there are cider weeps if we need more cider. I have a couple of recipes that rely on cider, but yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Hey, what do you know about Porch and this whole Earl situation? Oh, it's a lovely place, and the bananas are delicious. As for the so-called Earl, well, I'm loath to recognize nobility to begin with, and I cannot decide whether Asphodel claiming their own title is better or worse than if she inherited it. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I gotta say, I do feel like it's worse. Like I know that a lot of the things that make nobility a huge problem have to do with the hereditary passage stuff, but like a person choosing to impose more more like royalty nonsense on the world is definitely, it feels like a crueler act. I don't know. Anyway, live and drink, Maffeo. Thanks for the outlook. Spread fusile. Wait, nope, wait, that's Hortensa. And that's thought I heard a lot of noises. I was a little worried that the turrets in the hallway were gonna open up on Warden Zester for, reasons. That's Isepa. So wait, am I allowed to go out through here now? I am. Where does this go? Oh god, a novice of the sightless way to the southeast has begun to burrow a channel into my mind. And actually there's kind of a lot. Are you guys are hostile to me? Yeah, that's annoying. Alright, let me mark my target. I hit proselytize accidentally there. Mark my target. Tried desperately. Never mind. The the blob, the gel killed him before we had a chance to. Okay, it looks like actually these creatures are inclined to mostly murder the shit out of each other, while the friend that we turned here is just going to stand in the way and make everybody not able to access me. That's fun, but I do kind of want to see, like, where does this go? Why is there a force field here in the first place? Unfortunately, mostly what I'm learning is that it sucks to be over here. Hey, guess what? Lasers for you. Okay, so there's a lot of just like garbage in this area. It always makes me nervous when we have a situation there, like we did there, where it like takes me a couple of shots to kill something. It's like, have I been wasting? Do I in fact have bad gear? Is my shit not in order? But no, we're doing all right. Mostly one-shotting things. See, what I'm wondering is, yeah, first of all, if there's more treasure to be had around here. I think I will just disassemble that probably. And secondly, if this goes somewhere. So many enemies. Just also, I kind of can't believe how fast those drones are. They're able to keep up with me while I am moving this speed. So interestingly, this does take me to another staircase down. Oh. Hey, Esther, you want to help me out here? Yeah, we have another couple of charged high capacity cells. Imagine having infinite ammo. Or, effectively. Oh. The infiltrator to the southeast disappears. Interesting. Is this... What kind of gas is this? Just glitter dust. Okay, weird. I wanted to go down, and then I stood on the stairs to go upward. Alright, just trying to make sure I'm not adjacent to enemies while firing. Trying to minimize my my shots going wild here. I mean, we do have essentially infinite ammunition. I don't really need to be too cautious. Oh, I gained a level because I think the wardens must have killed something. Well, good work, friends. Stop shooting that door. It's like there's an enemy right there. Pay attention. I didn't want to take the stun rod. I wanted to interact with the stun rod. I don't want to hold this thing, but I do want the stuff it's made of. Actually, where does it put that? It's not a missile. Here we go. Melee weapons. I should probably do something about my power cell situation as well. I'm carrying a lot of different power cells. Probably a fair number of them can just be scrapped at this point. Well, I have to say, I do appreciate the amount of treasure chests we're finding everywhere. That's pretty fun. Not all of them have, like, a lot of valuable stuff in them, but... yes, it's kind of a bust. I guess, you know, the water skin... Although that did put me at 100. Yeah, I didn't actually equip the bodysuit. So the bodysuit goes over the back slot, I believe, right? So I'm going to lose a point of dodge, but I'm going to gain carry capacity, and it's hard to be mad about that. Yeah, 60 pounds extra carry capacity is something. Is that a slumberling down there? It is. At this point in the game, slumberlings are no longer, like, terrifying. It's like I do, in theory, have the ability to proselytize and grab a slightly better target than we did before. I just kind of grabbed whoever was nearby, but it's not actually a great unit. I am considering swapping for that that crab. Mostly not even getting anything for these anymore. Oh, looks like we have, in fact, aggroed the slumberling. I mean, you know what? It fell asleep. I went to proselytize to it and it fell asleep. As a sort of a self-defense mechanism, I guess? Well, maybe I don't want to bring it on, though, because it might just... I don't know how their mechanics actually work. What if it just does that repeatedly in combat? Yeah, it does. It does seem like it's continuing to do so. All right, I think that was our last sun cell. Oh, I'm here. Let me pop this out. I'm going to replace your cell with a chem cell. Swap you for the cell that was in the Flissa. That's like 17 turns I just spent in my inventory. So the enemies, they get to react a little bit when you do something like that. Alright, did we check this? We did not. Free rubber gum. I don't even know if I like rubber gum. I mean, we could keep looking around for chests, but honestly, I kind of just want to keep descending. Well, there's a chest right there. I should probably check that out. You know, since it's right there. Try to get this thing with the Flissa instead of wasting ammo on it. Frivolous Lives, Volume 1. Now that's interesting because that is a yellow titled book, which means that its text does not change from game to game. Frivolous Lives being the foremost catalog of humanoid kings by the Bakata Utarch, Volume 1. Yeah, okay. That's right. I think we have read this, right? Abraham. Yeah, we read this on a previous character. Okay, well, take it for sure. Let's try to kill some stuff here. I know I'm spending actual power cell gas, but let's disassemble this thing. Well, now that's interesting. That's just a whole room full of machine parts. I mean, I can certainly. Oh no, my spark tick died. Who would have thought? New companion, Crab. Welcome aboard, Crab. Yeah, I guess let's just pickaxe this shit, shall we? Oh, it equipped it over my shield. That's weird. That's actually, like, extremely not what I want, because that means that it only attacks on... Like, I still attack with the Flissa. And then the pickaxe attack will only occur on turns where my primary attack triggers an offhand attack, which is, you know, I don't remember exactly how often that is, but it's not very. Not actually that easy to dig through Fulcrete with a normal pickaxe. All right, I'm not allowed to just hold against the wall because there is an enemy in radar range. So we're just going to actually have to tap through this. I mean, I could just turn off the radar, obviously. Alright, let me re-equip my Gaslight Flissa. Let me re-equip my shield. That's really annoying that a single bug spawned. Ugh. I just want you to auto disassemble stuff. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go back in there and just turn off the radar actually. So Control tab, penetrating radar off. What a strange chamber. Also, what a strange way for that to work, right? It's non-trivial to tell the game, no, seriously, I just mean do it as I have you set, ignoring other concerns. I'm curious if we're headed toward anything meaningful here. There's a lot of sort of low value, high expenditure enemies here. Desperately trying to get me to burn power cells and stuff. It's another one of those closed rooms full of garbage. I mean, I'm enjoying all of the free loot. I got exploded. I got exploded. I thought, okay. That showed him. Sort of waved my knife at him once, and he just transmogrified himself into a corpse. All right, is there a way further down? How much further am I gonna go? Like, we're still seeing mostly the same enemies. Like, there's got to be some reason that this is over here, right? It does seem like it's kind of just procedurally generated, same garbage forever. Novice of the cyclist way to the northeast. Okay, I see him. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Hi. Hi, get immediately dead. So many annoying enemies. Like I said, I'm considering just dismantling a bunch of power cells anyway. This, the power cell that is in this Flissa, I guess, is just high on the list to get cut apart. Let's get rid of some of these ranged attackers. Trying to let the wardens handle some of it, at least. The arcing electrical damage is a little annoying, and it seems quite hard to avoid. Okay, there we go. The centipede I'm a lot less concerned about. What could you guys possibly still be fighting? How are there still more things on the floor? Alright, anyway, let me lootify this whole big room full of stuff. What a weird place this has been. I guess I am inspired. I mean, I don't really have anything new though that I would much want to play with. Spark Tick Plasma and Vine Wafer and Honey. Saves versus Disease. Electromagnetic Pulse. You know what? Having access to an EMP whenever I want it actually sounds really, really nice. Like, I definitely know that there are places in the world of CUD where you can just descend, you know, more or less infinitely. It will keep generating new floors for you. And stuff slowly gets more and more dangerous. That's not exactly what's happening here. We're just in these tunnels under Gritgate, seeing the same enemies over and over again, and it's very strange. I don't know why that always wants to equip to the wrong side. So I've gained the ability Dig. Nope, not Emit Pulse. Dig. No, okay, it won't automate the digging. Stuff's happening over there. It doesn't even have anything to do with me. Really? Neither one of you has any interest in, like, doing combat about this? I mean, I can kind of get how the eyeless crab is a little slow to go to war with the other eyeless crab. But I feel like a slug snout is an unambiguous enemy. My team should have been on that one, is all I'm saying. Did I ever pick up trash divining? No, wow, I did not. And in fact, I have a ton of skill points. Okay, well, we're just about to walk through a very large amount of garbage, so I do feel like maybe we could learn some things. And then what do I want to do with 395 other skill points? I guess there's something, yeah, there's something to that. I could pick up some wayfaring skill. Whenever you score a critical hit with a melee weapon while single weapon fighting, cooldowns of 2 random weapon or shield skills are immediately refreshed. We don't really have that. You know, apothecary is good survival stuff. Also, I should have physic, probably. Also, I should have nostrums, probably. And then we are 4 points away from Tinker 3. We don't need to save up for Tinker 3. Then we'll generate enough skill points to pick it up before we'll generate enough stat points. So what else would I take? Jump is pretty whatever. I can't get the good shield skills. You know what? Maybe we just hold on to it. Alright. Was not really where I was planning to go with all that, but, you know. Okay, I'm going to back up and let y'all... Seems like it shouldn't take long. We have vastly superior combatants here. Alright. Wow, okay. Found a slender carbine in there. Disassemble this. I think compass bracelets sell okay. I will take some raw bear meat. We'll just hack it up next time we're cooking. Floating glow spheres, good trade value. Not that that's a primary concern of ours anymore. They're 6 pounds each. Yeah, I think I'm going to not bother. Wow. There's just a whole thermo cask in here? Well, I guess I'm going to disassemble this. It's very heavy. I mean, you're able to find some pretty cool stuff down here. I'll say that. I would not have expected the full thermo cask. We've discovered the location of Icosatron's seal in Narak. Secret skills paying off already. Get this. Get that. Let me dump your power cell into my inventory. Wow, that's a lot of Mirthworm. There is a chest up in the Mirthworm room too, but let's just continue to head down a little bit more. What floor are we? We're on 14 strata deep now. And I mean, like, we're finding meaningful treasure. It's not like a total waste of our time. Although it is starting to take me an awful lot of hits to get through these enemies for some reason. Let's get back over here to where my allies are. Alright, Esther can handle a lot of these fools. I would like to get that chest, however. And then we intimidate. And fight the ones who keep moving toward us afterwards. Holy hell. This is just, it's so many enemies. The Mirthworms have Swarmer, right? Oh no, they totally don't. Never mind. I mean, eventually I'm going to get worn down, but it takes them so long to deal damage. I'm going to go down a floor. Then I'm fighting up the stairs here. Okay, I'm taking real damage. I guess I'm going to go ahead and salve. It's not like we're short on these. Oh, I cannot get up the stairs. There we go. Holy shit. The number of enemies. Just... Why? Why are there so many? My gaslight voice is definitely out of power. That's part of the issue we're having here. We're finding all these chem cells. Let's just spend them. Boy, I sure wish killing a Mirthworm was worth anything at all, you know? Maybe the whole point of this area is just that it is like a procedurally generated infinite tinkering bits storage place. Because, like, can I interact with the security door in any way? Not really. Okay, because I don't really want to go through this whole rigmarole with the pickaxe every time. So go, equip manual over the right hand. I guess if I turn off penetrating radar and then go dig to here. Yeah, okay, we can perfectly automate that process and then turn our radar back on. Though the slime, I was having trouble landing on a couple of particular things. Wait, did I just pick up a cracked lens? Why would you do what? The automation knows what orders I have given regarding these things. All right. So there are there's a bunch more rooms around here, but like in the end, it does seem to me like the thing to do with this floor is probably just head down, right? Yeah, treasure chest is kind of nothing. I'm probably going to just be using the recoiler to get back out at this point because it would be so annoying to walk this far up. Well, now that's curious. The fuck is going on there? What are these? Okay, they're a mixture of chain gun and musket. And one Issachar rifle. Well, I mean, they've got my curiosity, right? Oh, that's not the friendly crab. Okay, I'm gonna do this manually because I don't want to try to signal. Actually, like if I turn off my radar and I order dig to this space, okay, yeah, it will just enter this space. I wasn't sure whether you had to specify like an open space that you were digging to, but no, it doesn't appear so. All right. We have to be a little bit careful here. Hey, my friend the crab. I'm going to direct you to attack a target. Go get him. Okay, I thought that might happen. I definitely don't want to send Warden's Esther is like actively fleeing. Don't you dare send me in there. I get it. I see why you would be concerned, given everything else that's happening here. I mean, we could certainly... Oh, I could pulse. What are the rules for my electromagnetic pulse? 2x2 centered around self. Okay. So I would have to run pretty deep in. There is a space where theoretically everything is in a tight enough area to get hit. I'm gonna go for it. Oh, wow, okay. Sell for good measure. Thank you, Esther. Good teleport. Sorry, it would be a good teleport if you were helping. Alright, it became a good teleport. Yeah, I'm gonna gather. So we're starting to find some, like, pretty interesting stuff, right? Just like a lot of loose crysteel. So it feels to me like the I don't know, the loot tier of this area is higher. The homoelectric wrist warmer is just, yeah, it's just some cold resist. Would have been better earlier. All right, that's a very there we go. Get my auto loot turned on. And then I made crab legs out of my friend, out of my most humble servant. Okay, so there's no way over to there except digging. Have we reached the bottom floor of this area? No. And in fact, we got another room here. The Council at Gammarock. What is the story with this? The wind of change is blowing through the belfries, and a new consciousness is upon us. The events of the 566th Warden's Moot have escaped the confinement of their moonlit promontory, have whisked down the salted crag, and entered the high halls of state, have snuck under the thatched doors of our very homes. The formation of the Quetzal Caucus is historic. This is a moment that demands our attention. I know that by publishing these minutes I incur the disfavor of the Fellowship. Despite what they'll say, I mean no harm to their organization. I've redacted the specifics of their astronomical rituals, and I've left my conjectures on the ingredients of snail tea to my unpublished notes. The rest of the document betrays no secrets the time hasn't betrayed already, and the significance of the proceedings tips the scales in favor of the public good. In the Cassafessence may they find the mercy to forgive me. Sheba Hagarius, 6-Day Stilt, 999YK. We don't have any idea how to convert that dating system to our dating system, right? Like, we don't know when 999YK is. So minutes from the midnight session of this Warden's Moot, under the beetle moon of the 4th night of Ut Ara Ux in the year 998, maybe this is our system. Snail tea was served and the star oath recited. Then, in the midst of a light rain, the chair ascended the rostrum, the kinnor was strum, and the 3rd session of the call to order. Chair called for the recitation of the night's reports. Settler caravans had embarked for asphalt mines. Only 2 remain. That's probably not like a good place to go. 2 wardens from the dunes of Mokrayi ascended the rostrum and reported of an ongoing dispute between the Dromads and the Vintners Guild. An assault on a Dromad caravan outside the village of Tipper was traced back to a merchant cadre. Alright. 4 wardens from the southern banks of the River Svai ascended the rostrum and reported on goat folks. 1 warden from the Rainbow Wood ascended the rostrum and reported on a bevy of soup sludges who had requested the Fellowship's presence. He was jeered for leaking wax on the dais and descended in a fit of retaliatory swears. The reports being at an end, the chair called for the commencement of the night's panel discussion. 8 wardens ascended the rostrum and initiated a discussion on the Xars of the Mountain Folk and their employment of the spiked counterscarp. Its merits were contrasted with the familiar rampart and palisade, and assailant tactics were assessed. A short martial demonstration ensued. The panel discussion being at an end, the chair called for the proposal of resolutions. The chair recognized a warden who asked to ascend the rostrum with a coterie of comrades to motivate their proposal, and the chair assented. 12 wardens ascended the rostrum and announced the formation of the Quetzal Caucus. I still haven't decided how I think I should be pronouncing that word. They proceeded to formulate their resolution, which called to restrict the provision of the Fellowship's services to only those communities who are governed by democratic means. The Yid Freehold was cited as exemplar, or who had communally voted to eschew such government. There was an uproar in the hall, and the chair took several minutes to regain order. A point of information was requested as to the resolutions bearing on extant assignments. The speaker clarified that the proposal included the retraction of wardens from communities in violation of said criteria, at which point the hall erupted into bedlam once again. Roused to a state of enmity, a second group of wardens advanced on the rostrum. There was shouting, weapons were drawn. Unable to regain order, the chair dispatched the sergeant-at-arms, who broke into the fray and, abetted by several of his deputies, ended the melee and admonished the two groups. Once the hall was settled, a motion to call the question was controversially accepted, and the vote was tallied. Resolution failed by majority vote. A speaker from the countergroup was recognized by the chair and proposed an ad hoc motion to expel the treasonous chattels of the purple bitch. Another uproar. The question was called, and the motion failed by majority vote. The hall erupted into a tumult of shouting, and, failing to regain order, the chair struck the gavel, and the session was abruptly adjourned. Well, that's like an interesting bit of history. I don't know that it's super, I don't know that it's super relevant to anything we're doing, but it is interesting. So I picked up a lot of garbage, apparently. Even a slender carbine is still 5 pounds. Okay, so I have these boots. Hey, wardens. Where are my wardens at? Let me do the old reset here. Would you like some fancy boots? Nope, having a heck of a time pressing the correct button. Give items. Sadly, I do not have a hammer to give you. Here, take this. Also, probably that's it. Actually, I wonder if they might be up to use a rifle or something if we give them a ranged weapon. I guess I don't really want to. I'm going to try handing them this thing and see if they are going to actually use it. Yes, put it on the table. Okay. All right, maybe they have axe skills. Even if not, it's a good weapon and should deal good damage. All right, you do your thing. I'm just gonna, oops, not proselytize. Sorry, that is turn off radar. Equip self with pickaxe. Turn on radar. I can probably just kill these things with the pickaxe, right? Yeah. Wow. Okay, that chest is loaded. That one, not so much. I'll probably want to, okay, discovering more ruin locations. Also, goat folk settlements, hooray. I was about to do something and I got distracted by encountering things in the trash. We picked something up. Oh, right, the honey. I was going to pour this into our existing water skin of honey. Yeah, no reason to have even more containers that are partially filled with that that one thing. Huh. Yeah, there's just a bunch of interesting stuff laying on the ground in there. Presumably things that have been dropped by people who died due to attention from these turrets. At this point, I'm just main wielding the pickaxe. It is my weapon of choice. Another crystal dagger. We don't need another laser rifle, nor do I need the weight or anything, so I think we'll just take that. I mean, the loot's starting to get pretty hot down here. Oh, a beetle. You know what? Let me reclose that door. Let me put some ammunition in my laser rifle. We just picked up a solar cell, right? Yeah, I'll take a couple of shots with this. Can I hit this other... Boy, those shots are consistently going wide in the same way, which is annoying. Okay, cool. Where'd my wardens go? A pickaxe actually is a pretty good weapon for using to fight enemies where their whole thing is that they have very high armor class. So we're seeing some fullerite weapons here. We loot all of this. A jewel-encrusted crystal dagger is going to sell for an awful lot. And an arc winder. Wait. It's weird that it just closed the menu when I tried to interact with that. It is a pistol. So it says 4d4. It doesn't have a penetration value. Huh. Yeah, just take all of that for sure. Extra crystal daggers, why not? Bring me 6 spring turret grenades Mark II, and I shall reward you with a blazing cannon. I mean, that does sound pretty good. Spring turret grenades. Doing a little bit less auto looting than I was hoping. Okay, that's a gold nugget I just found on the ground there. So this thing is made of 245. That's really interesting. It has... I wish that look was a little bit more useful, you know? Ejects charge through 2 contact tips. Smoke twirls. So it says contact tips, but it just means... It doesn't mean, like, you know, that it's a melee weapon. So it's a pistol with high accuracy that does, I'm assuming, electrical damage. 44 is a pretty solid damage code, but it doesn't have a to hit roll. I guess it just always hits. I mean, we've seen, yeah, like the electrical arcing damage, right? It always hits, but it never multi-penetrates because it's not making the appropriate rolls to do so. Well, I do think that I need to probably carry less stuff. Where am I? I'm 2 pounds over. I am actually going to disassemble a couple of grenades here. So I picked up a blaze injector and a copy of Traveling Meals, which, as a green titled book, actually contains Usable recipes. Shredded meat in jam. Whenever you reflect damage, there's a chance you get a massive amount of bonus HP. 4DV. Drink that gives 4DV is pretty compelling, although it's made of congealed skulk. So you have to burn a skulk injector, usually, to make that work. To be perfectly honest with you, I do kind of think that it makes sense to just disassemble the point defense drone. We're not using it, really. I do have 32 power cells. Let's maybe do away with some of these. Alright, just burn some of the empty ones. Fullerite longsword, some canned have it all, and a masterwork freeze ray. Well, that's a lot of weight. It is a rifle. It is a kind of rifle. Huh. And here, Gaslight Chris. Okay. Can I... Yeah, I can just disassemble this thing at least. Fullerite weapons are pretty okay, I think. Not as good as that legend axe, I don't believe. But yeah, this is starting to get really interesting loot-wise. We're taking the canned have it all, obviously. The thing is, I just don't think I can carry this Master Freeze Ray out of here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna disassemble it. We're gonna could you maybe actually come here, please? Yeah, I'm gonna pick this up and I'm gonna hand it to you. And maybe you'll just drop it when you die, but maybe this will get it somewhere interesting. Yeah, you can take both of those, actually. All right, gives me a little bit of weight to work with. So it seems like there was laser fire, right? Alright, maybe this pickaxe isn't the optimal weapon for all situations. Although, if you can't kill a bear with a pickaxe, you gotta ask yourself, do you deserve to kill that bear? So there is another disciple of the Sightless Way here. He doesn't have a way out of the room that he's in, so we could just leave him there forever. And I think I'm inclined to do so. Let's do a little bit of trash divining. There's a lot of canned have it all down here. Probably don't need more of those. Honestly, I probably don't need the one that I had. Where on earth are my wardens? Come to a fight with some random dude. You know what? Actually, let's... No, okay, dude's not interested. I was gonna say, if he's surviving that amount of combat, it's probably worth considering a new friend. I kind of forget about the magic. Obviously, until it gets used right in front of me. Okay, copper nugget, herberry. Hold on. We're not passing up an herberry. That herberry was... What a heavy berry. Okay, a pair of silver nuggets. I gotta... buddy. Buddy, I need you to take something from me. Just some... I don't know what. I picked up a turbo. Tell you what. You want to hold on? Do you want to hold on to this flamethrower for a bit? It feels to me like I am not going to be using that flamethrower for a little bit. Oh, here's the downside of the flamethrower. I guess if I give you the flamethrower, there's a chance you will use it. Which is not ideal. We don't really have too much stuff that's like individually heavy. Sadly, our inventory is mostly made of pretty light things, but one of these, yeah, was the dermal plating. The dermal plating is pretty heavy. You can give you that. The giant hands, probably hold on to the stasis entangler for obvious reasons. I probably do not give you the flamethrower because actually that's... I'd be very concerned about what might occur there. Okay, that buys me another bit here. Stasis grenade, we'll just take that apart. Okay. I may as well have at this, right? Hooray for automation. Something tells me we don't really need the information about the location of a snapjaw fort. I don't see that being useful to us. Across Mograyi, the Sunderlies. It's interesting how much, how many non-white books we're finding. Being the foremost collection of strange civilizations beyond the Great Salt Desert. I don't know that these are necessarily going to be useful pages here. So I'm not going to read them out loud. I am going to just sort of tab through them here so that y'all can pause the video and read about this stuff if you would like. The various clans and whatnot out there in the Sunderlies, the freeholds. Okay. Information that in some way does now exist in the playthrough. What did the beetle want again? Spring turret grenades Mark II. That feels like a thing where I'm going to have to learn how to build those if I want whatever this blazing cannon is. And, you know, we got to ask ourselves some questions about whether we believe that Beetle is actually going to pay out with something appropriate to the text. Yeah, in a lot of cases, this pickaxe does fine, actually. And we have our shield, and we're not good melee combatants, but we're good enough melee combatants for this, at least. Which is something. So I don't have a proselytize anymore, right? Let's flip that crab. Crab's tough enough to hold on to enemy attention for a while, and also... Also, it can pull enemy AV down with its claws, so... Esther, you're doing great work. What about you, guy? You have anything fun? Nothing to trade, in fact. What is that? Oh, you just chopped off its arm. Cool. I mean, Did I take that? Sorry, I had assumed that the default option there was going to be dismantle, because why would I want to pick up that arm? Where in my inventory did he even put that? Yeah, it's scrap. It feels like it should be disassembled. All right, so what is this thing? Servos with a miniature air turbine. Interesting. So if it increases the base penetration of its ammo by 4, the damage die of its ammo by 4, and the damage bonus of its ammo by 1. So wait, what does it mean for it to increase the damage die by 4? Like it turns a D6 into a D10? That's really interesting. What kind of, like, just for math's sake, like, what kind of arrows am I carrying? So a crystal arrow is going to land like 8 penetration, 1d6, plus additional, yeah, I mean, like, it's not amazing necessarily, but it's certainly not bad. Oh, stop shocking me. I'm just like looking for treasure chests here before I decide to leave the floor. Yeah, we're leaving the floor. I think I'm going to go over here. Oh, hold on. There's a power cell just laying on the ground. That's free stuff. Come cell, disassemble, rest. Turn off my radar and then attempt to rest. I can hear the fighting. Alright, I'm coming, y'all. Just give me a second. How did you even find this number of mirthworms? Criminy. Rest. Alright. Well, I mean, it's just like treasure and more ways downward. Although the treasure here is a little bit less compelling than the treasure we saw on the last floor. A new fact about the life of her chef. At twilight, in the shadow of the spindle, the people of Amonporch saw an image on the horizon that looked like a ghost bathed in cerulean. It was Reshef, and after he came and left Amonporch, the people built a monument to him, and thenceforth called him Ghost in Cerulean. That's a true story. We've seen that before. We know this body pack sells pretty well, but honestly, that's not a good enough reason anymore for me to pick something up. Okay, it's starting to get a little dense in here. There's ammunition in this weapon. Oh, that's a sightless guy. Turned off my... Nope. Okay, I'm pressing every button. Turn on ulnar stimulators. Turn on radar. Change back to the other set of buttons, which is what I thought I had up, so that I can mark this idiot. And then attempt to shoot him. Okay. I don't think I did that. I think that was the ape. Hey, Esther, you maybe want to back me up a little bit here? Where are you going? I see. All of my allies have the strongest possible hatred for the Mirthworm. Okay, these things are also not swarmers. They're just annoying. Okay. Crab finally bit it. Esther is very concerned with whatever enemies are furthest from me at any moment. Rest? Okay. I kind of figured that continuing to rest there would continue to draw the opponents toward us, because, you know, they know that I'm right there, but apparently not. Does proselytize work on Robot? No. No, Robot is unconvinced by my bullshit. Oh, okay, well. It is just all frustrating all the time down here. I'll tell you, I wish we still had our buddy Joe. I miss Joe. Alright, lots of disassemblables. An advanced toolkit, which is like kind of a cool idea, but also 2 pounds. You know how I feel about that. I mean, at this point, I'm just wondering, like, is there a bottom? We found an area with no light. There are some juice saps. It's worth noting, probably, that this area is called Subterranean Caves, while this is called Lower Tunnels Grit Gate. So I think there's a possibility here that if there is like a bottom, this is where it is, right? If there is a final reward to be had. Because after this, we are no longer in the special zone. Welcome aboard, crab friend. Friend crab. So I guess let's have a look around here. And then we have to do stuff like out in the world, right? I had a whole plan that I got distracted from because I discovered the back door. Yeah, okay, there's a couple of chests left. Maybe there is yet something kind of interesting to be had. Not that I'm like upset about the amount of loot that we've got so far. All right, I think this is probably a moment for turning off the radar and focusing. Well, turns out not that exciting. And so, I mean, I guess we may as well let ourselves into these chambers down here, right? Turn off the radar so that I can actually interact with things. Alright, we have gained a ton of tinkering bits since we started our journey today. I guess let's finish exploring the last bits of the floor here. Yeah, I get that's it. It's a large amount of slime that I have no interest in, and that's that. Okay, I'm going to like I said, take us out of here via recoiler, because walking seems terrible. Six spring turret grenades Mark II. I think that's probably pretty doable if we can just find, you know, just find the recipe. Anyway. Gate recoiler. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. I don't know why it would even give me the option. Oh, we have a solar cell. It's all charged up and everything. We're back, everybody. Sorry. Let me take that. I don't want to accidentally rip a hole in the wall here and what I assume would be a major faux pas, right? Let's swap over to a high capacity solar cell on that. Same deal here. You know, these will charge up as we're traveling next time we travel. And it looks like people's inventories have not refreshed, so I guess there's no reason to go check in with anybody. Okay, we're ready to leave. I was supposed to leave at the beginning of the episode. I got it's a tiny bit distracted. And now here we are. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, there's a lot of stuff to do out there in the world, out here, out away from Gritgate, and we're finally going to engage with some of it. And we'll see you then.